The smallholder farming and informal food trade sectors ground to a halt due to the onset of COVID-19 and the lockdown that followed. Given the importance of these sectors in supporting large numbers of South Africans, the complete lack of economic activity meant that many people were in dire straits. The WWF Nedbank Green Trust recognized this challenge and made a special call for catalytic project proposals that would address the havoc wreaked by COVID-19 in the livelihoods and food security of those working in the sector and those reliant on its success. One of these enormously successful projects, managed by WWF South Africa's Land Reform and Biodiversity Stewardship Program, in partnership with Ezemvelo KZN Wildlife, the Department of Health, the Department of Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs, and Mpumalanga Tourism and Parks, is the enabling community resource security and protected area expansion in a post-COVID-19 future. There are approximately 2 million smallholder farmers in South Africa, and many of them rely on the land to feed their families with hopefully enough surplus to sell or trade. These farmers urgently need to become resilient to dramatic environmental and social changes such as climate change and the COVID-19 pandemic. This project, which worked with the women within the communities of Thekwane, Mgundeni, Bambanani, and the Ukuthanda Ukukhanya Communal Property Association, provided the necessary training, skill sharing, equipment, and networks in order to ensure that this availability to survive, adapt, and thrive to current and future challenges becomes ingrained in these communities. The women were trained to create environmentally friendly, climate-resilient gardens, and they successfully produced vegetables to feed themselves and sold the surplus to neighboring communities and towns. This project specifically targeted rural women who often do not have access to the income generated from farming with large livestock and care for the most vulnerable, the elderly, ill, and orphaned of their communities. This focus on the education of women gave them financial mobility, access to education and networks, the ability to feed themselves, their loved ones, and those members of the community unable to care for themselves. The project engaged a number of properties and within its lifespan managed to declare 2 as protected environments. These are the African Farms Protected Environment that measures 1,357 hectares and is in Mpumalanga, and the Mokotani Community Protected Environment that measures 2,600 hectares and is in KwaZulu-Natal. This is a critical element of preserving the grasslands, wetlands, and biodiversity of the area, ensuring healthy soils for crops and grazing, while protecting the foraging grounds and habitats of species such as the blue crane and the bald-headed ibis. This project has secured the livelihoods and food security of vulnerable South Africans, has protected critical wetlands and pristine grasslands in order to ensure clean drinking water and healthy rangelands in croplands for farmers, and has defended and conserved the future of key and endangered species, all through working closely with these communities. We are excited to see people and nature thriving in partnership and look forward to spreading the knowledge and best practices gained to even more parts of our country.